Hello everyone and welcome back to Backroad Oddities. So today's video is going to be a little bit different, and this video isn't exactly dealing with an abandoned subject, but I wanted to talk to you guys about something. And I was trying to film another location earlier, but it didn't exactly meet my criteria, so I had to skip it. That kind of reminded me that I wanted to make this video. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the ethics and the morality of urbex and exploration in general. So I had a comment on one of my previous videos. And I'm not going to shame the guy, but it was the video regarding the illegal grow ops out in the desert. And basically what he said was, shame on me for sharing a pristine location, which is kind of laughable because if you saw that video and understood the context of it, it was far from a pristine location. But the comment pretty much kind of don't want to say it irked me, but made me realize that I need to probably outline for people what my code of conduct is and where I draw the line on things. So the location I want to film is down this closed road, so I'm hiking into it. So that's why I'm taking the time to actually have this discussion with you guys. In short, I have a few rules that I follow, and a lot of the locations that I filmed so far are not what I would call virgin locations, meaning they're pure, not touched, not graffitied, not vandalized. There isn't really a whole lot of luck finding those in Southern California, as it turns out. But the location I was going to film earlier today was a school. So a lot of my research indicated it's already been vandalized. There was some tagging, but not too light. Maybe some copper theft, that kind of thing. And it was an elementary school. It closed in 2019. So I rolled up to the location because from what I've seen from pictures, the rear gate to the location usually is open. And this time it was not. It was locked. One of my major rules is I really only enter places that are open. Doors open, windows open, gate is unlocked, and there's a reason for that. There's another YouTuber I follow. I've actually exchanged a few emails with him, and you might know him. His name is Dan Bell. He pretty much founded the whole dead mall movement, where he was filming dying and dead malls, mostly on the East Coast, but I think he's probably got some in the central US. And he does a lot of urbex in Baltimore. And of course, in Baltimore there's a lot of bandos. There's a lot of abandoned commercial properties and real estate, that kind of thing. One of the things that he talks about, he never enters any place that isn't open. And the reason for that is, it's one thing if you get caught and you get trespassed, because in a lot of jurisdictions, trespassing is pretty much a warning type situation. Maybe they give you a small citation and you walk away from it. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases. However, if you enter a property and it was closed and the police suspect you forced your way in, well, you're not walking away from that. And in fact, you're probably going to be charged with breaking and entering, and that just adds like a whole nother layer of complication to things. So I never enter any place that is not open. Secondly, I pretty much try to follow the leave no trace principle. On this channel, I used to make camping videos, and I'll probably go back to that on another channel at some point. And I know I have people asking about it. I feel that leave no trace pretty much applies to these locations too. No matter how graffitied or vandalized it is, if I'm going someplace to document it, I want to document its current decay. I'm not going to contribute to that. And really, I think most urbexers, they probably already follow that principle anyways. I know a lot of people get really irritated when they see graffiti or just blatant vandalism or copper theft or that kind of thing. Ultimately, in the end, I don't want to contribute to that decay. I just want to document it. And I think that's pretty much the best rule to follow, because really when we're exploring these places, that's what it's all about. It's about adventure and exploration, just trying to see what things look like, document them, see new things. And if you disturb that, you're not really doing that. It's just making the situation worse for the next person who actually wants to find a place and explore it. Of course, you're going to have various other people that will, ignore that, of course. But anytime I have a video where I see something like an urbexer has tagged a place, I'm going to call it out, because it really brings, I feel, some shame to the community. If you're just trying to put your name on something, document it. Make good content. Make a video. Put your twist on it. Maybe explore some history of the location. And that's your mark, You don't have to tag. All right, so the other thing too, and I mentioned Dan Bell earlier, is Dan has also been asked countless times by a lot of people, especially since he's in Baltimore, do you carry a weapon with you? Or anything for self-defense? Well, in a lot of jurisdictions, that can be complicated. And that complication is purely because, once again, if you get caught trespassing, you walk away. But if you have a weapon on you, then not only are they going to consider it like breaking and entering, they're probably going to consider it like burglary or some other offense. And a weapons charge is pretty severe. You don't want that. Yeah, in general, I don't carry anything like that. And I would advise nobody else to do it too. And if you're in a situation where you're exploring a place and you're unsure of yourself, well, use some common sense, really. Kind of stake out the location. See if there's anybody there first. Watch if anybody's coming or going. Maybe ask other urbexers if you're in those communities, if they've had any experiences there, that kind of thing. And kind of just make the judgment call yourself. Do you really want to go into a place like that that's unprotected? And would you feel safe doing so? And usually I've found, trusting my gut instinct is probably the best bet. Because even if you carry a weapon, if somebody is, like, say, squatting in a building, they may have a weapon too. And there's no guarantee that you're going to actually be able to protect yourself against a person that probably actually knows the property better than you do. So, no, I would not. Maybe pepper spray or mace at most, depending on the situation. Kind of take a break here. Whew. It's been a while since I've done a decent hike too, so a little bit exhausting. In general, I'm out of shape anyways, so I got to work on these kind of things. So the other thing too is, that commenter on that one video, he pretty much was upset that I kind of revealed the location, but I didn't really reveal it. I didn't tell people directly where it was. I'm sure with some effort, he could figure out where that grow op was. And by the way, I was caught at that location too. I kind of wish I filmed it, but it wasn't really that big of a deal because a lot of instances, these grow ops, the property owners are just as much as victims as anybody else. Sometimes the cartels end up basically plowing over somebody else's parcel and land, or they use somebody kind of like as a proxy to do it. You know, maybe with a little bit of gaslighting and deception. And so the property owner rolled up on me, and I was trying to film drone footage, and that's why I didn't get any drone footage. But he told me to leave, and I'm like, yep, no problem. So at least it wasn't something where I escalated or had a gun pulled on me or anything like that. So I do have a question for you guys. And I don't exactly 100% know how I feel about it myself, but I feel I'm going to ask. And we'll see what you guys say. So, yes, my channel is monetized by YouTube, but really these videos are not getting quite the views that I was hoping. And of course the payouts aren't quite what I was hoping. In fact, I've had no payout yet. Of all the videos I published so far for this year, I have earned $90 across everything. Of course, you know, that's because most of the videos really have not been getting very many views. Don't know if that's a me problem or a YouTube problem. It's nice when those videos do pop off, but it seems pretty infrequent, unfortunately. So I want to keep making these videos. And probably either way I will. But the problem really is the funding aspect of it. You know, gas costs money. You know, I find a place I want to go. Sometimes it's too far away. Sometimes it's, you know, I have a list of locations I want to go to that are out of state. And that I feel would be pretty cool locations to explore, including like mines out in Nevada. There's some places in Utah. I do have the opportunity to hit up some places in Arizona and New Mexico, but that's because of another situation, and I've been occasionally every couple of weeks going back and forth between California and New Mexico. It's kind of frustrating because there are a lot of locations that seem really interesting, but you know, either with my truck or with my car, it's going to cost, you know, $100 or more round trip, and it kind of puts a damper on things. Like, I have no problem using my weekends traveling and going places, but sometimes the money becomes an objective. So, essentially what I was wondering, like, what if I ended up setting up like a Ko-Fi or a Patreon account, and people could contribute to it. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm begging either, you know, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to turn people off from watching or anything because of that, but the way I see it, you know, I've had some viewers that have definitely provided contribution in other ways. Like, they've given me heads up on locations or places to check out, and it's really frustrating because that's how I know some of these other locations I want to go to, but I have no way of getting there, at least without considerable personal expense. And I've already put a lot of money into this hobby of mine. The other thing too is I do have my own business, so sometimes I have to put a little bit more attentiveness into that, but it does give me a little bit more flexibility. So if I do need to make longer trips, I can probably plan for and do that. But again, it's all about the funding. All right, so again, it's not something I really wanted to ask about, but I don't know. I guess it's better to put it out there than not ask at all and get nothing. But I don't want to seem like I'm begging. I don't want to do that at all. In fact, anybody that provides any kind of donation, any kind of contribution, if I do go ahead with this, I would end up putting in a credit section in the videos at the end, and I would make sure that anybody that contributes would definitely get their due and their credit for it. And if you're somebody else that has a YouTube channel or other kind of social media outlet where you do the same thing, I'll help promote it for you too. I'm not very effective at doing that on my own, but if I put your socials in the credits for a video, who knows, that might help grow your audience. We can try to grow things together. You never know, right? And there are a couple of people out there, you know who you are. Not going to name names, but I've chatted with you guys on Instagram, and I've really appreciated some of the input and ideas that you've given me. And hey, who knows? Maybe we can do a collaboration in the future. I know a couple of you guys are, more into the photography than the videography aspect of locations. But hey, if you know of a location and you want to split costs or something, and like I film a video, and if you're doing photography, why not? It sounds cool to me. Anyways, I got to get to filming my next location because I'm here, but I'll see you in the next video. And as always, see you on the back roads.